Brighter Shores is RuneScape's original creators Andrew Gower's new free-to-play MMORPG and has been in development for over 10 years. Will this be the new top MMO, the next RuneScape, or will it fall victim to what modern gaming has become? In this video, I will tell you all about this new game, which, by the looks of it, has a lot of resemblances to the things we know from RuneScape. Without further ado, let's talk about it. So let's start with what this game is to begin with. What can you expect from it? According to the trailer and the information available to me at the time of making this video, Brighter Shores lets you explore a land of magic and mysteries with a huge number of professions, which are pretty much the game's version of RuneScape skills, to try and master, and something new to find around every corner. Brighter Shores features an ongoing story and hundreds of hours of gameplay. This elevator pitch to me sounds like a new take on RuneScape to an extent, which is not a bad thing at all. To be honest, I've always kind of wondered why there's never really been another game that took RuneScape's core concepts of skills and was successful with it. I know people have tried, but none have stood the test of time and truly resembled what RuneScape kind of encapsulates with its gameplay. And who better to give it a shot than RuneScape's original creator? Before we get into the skills or professions that have been revealed to us, let's quickly touch on what we know about its ongoing story I mentioned earlier, which by the way is designed by Andrew Gower's brother, Paul Gower. You start the game off as the newest recruit in the Hope Sport Town Guard. You're looking to make a name for yourself, but this soon turns out to be a more challenging role than you had anticipated, with a strange storm raging over the harbor and unrest from the local goblins. At first sight, this might sound very limited, but Gower has stated that the player's concerns will quickly reach far beyond the town's walls, which to me sounds like the town is the main hub/starting area and you will explore from there on out. Whilst on your journey, you will discover powerful magic sources and become one of the legendary classes of old, Cryo Knight, Guardian or Hammer Mage, which is fortunate because something is corrupting the deepest reaches of the nearby Hope Forest. And only through the strengths of your newfound power, you'll be able to deal with it. This sounds really cool, setting up an evil entity for you to figure out what's going on with and to eventually fight, at least I'd assume so. I can't imagine us letting it just do its thing, right? However, one thing that I, as a RuneScape player, find concerning is that we might be stuck to class systems. I know this is a very common trend within many MMORPGs, but it's something I personally just don't really enjoy, as I like exploring all aspects of a game, building just one epic character and not to be limited to just one playstyle. Guess we're playing multiple characters for this one, boys. As mentioned, this game also has plenty of professions, which are pretty much the game's versions of skills, for you to master. The ones that have been officially revealed are Fisher, Forger, Chef, Woodcutter, Miner, Alchemist, Stonemason, Merchant, Blacksmith. These all sound very straightforward and straight to the point, and I shoot them being a mix between RuneScape skills and Final Fantasy's professions. Yet again, this is all speculation. One very interesting thing mentioned in the trailer, which has been on repeat in the background, is you reassembling a dinosaur, which gives me major Archaeology vibes, and I absolutely love it as it's my favorite skill in the game. The game will be free to play, but will also feature a premium pass that will add additional features like quests, professions, and features such as player-to-player trading. Pretty much RuneScape's memberships, and for those who might be concerned about MTX/microtransactions, Andrew Gower has always been against the idea of you being able to progress or get an advantage more quickly because you had more IRL funds than other people. Seeing as he runs the entire operation, I don't see them adding any concerning microtransactions, but of course we will have to wait and see. So to summarize, the game will have quests, professions aka skills, lots of combat, place for you to explore, and its environments are arranged in a tabletop-like grid. Not really a RuneScape clone in my eyes. Of course, it will always have a lot of resemblance to it, mainly in my opinion in its profession system and art style, which give me major early RuneScape 3 vibes, but besides that, this game will probably be fresh and exciting to play. Now, I wouldn't be Chef if I wasn't just a little bit critical about certain things, would I now? I think my main concerns about this game is it addressing the major flaws within MMORPGs and what audience it mainly wants to appeal to. Andrew Gower mentioned that they want to minimize grindy gameplay, which is often found within the genre. To be honest, I have no clue what he's on about. RuneScape especially is not a grindy game at all. But in all seriousness, that is a very important aspect to address, especially if you want to appeal to a newer audience, one that might not be too familiar with the MMORPG genre. Because, like it or not, gaming has changed. Something I feel like RuneScape isn't ready to admit just yet. Especially regarding the way they handle the new player experience, which I feel like needs to be more guided to appeal to a younger/newer audience. An audience that will secure the future of your game. Which is something I really hope Brighter Shores will bring to the table, as it's one of the major points that I feel like holds back many games. People don't want to be stuck in games anymore, like we did back in the day. I mean, back in the day we didn't want to be stuck in games either, but we kind of had no choice, as we didn't have an unlimited amount of games to play instead, so we just had to figure it out. If you want to know more about the subject, check out my video about it, but to summarize, if people get confused or have to constantly look up what they have to do next, they're most likely to quit the game and play another as soon as this happens. And that's the other thing I'm a bit concerned about. What is the target audience? Is it RuneScape players, MMORPG players, or trying to introduce an all new generation to the genre, just like how RuneScape did? To clarify, this is not stated anywhere, so this is all speculation. However, I feel like if it wants to mainly appeal to former/current RuneScape players, then it might shoot itself in the foot. Why would you want to play a similar game to RuneScape? You know, you can play RuneScape. Especially if you already have an existing account that has stats and gear. In that case, the sunken cost fallacy will probably kick in. Due to you having played so many hours of RuneScape, it will feel bad for you to leave it behind and play another game that is very similar, because then those hours you put into RuneScape feel wasted. Don't get me wrong, these players will most likely try the game, but obviously you want them to stick around and play your game instead of RuneScape, which you can only achieve when the game is different enough to each other or compatible. If you can play them both, AFK on one and play active on the other, then they might have a winning formula, but it's just very important that they don't just want to make the next RuneScape, pretty much. And that's another hope that I have, is that it's just not the main target audience, because quite frankly, the game itself looks awesome and very exciting, and I would love for it to truly have its own identity and quirkiness and be successful because of it. Sure, there will probably be some resemblances to RuneScape, which is completely fine, but creating your own identity is pivotal for your success, at least in my eyes, as the potential is truly there. I will definitely play it and most likely make a couple of videos on it, whether that's progression videos or just opinionated videos, because this is very exciting. I never got into any MMORPG besides RuneScape, and maybe this will be the one that does the trick for me, especially as it's created by the person who made my favorite MMORPG, and I just want to wish the team that worked on this the best of luck. In Q3 this year is probably when it will be released, so meaning between either July and I think it's September, October-ish when it will most likely be released, and it will be exciting, and I wish them all the best with the future development and with everything that goes on when it does release, because they seem to really care, and it seems to really be just a passion project, especially by the Gowers, and I just want them to succeed. That's all. This is just my opinion. This is my overview of everything. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe to the second channel. And my name's Chevalric. And I'll see you guys in my next video.